days are better than other days, but these days, life is better with you. Some days are better than other days, but these days, life is better with you. Life is better. Tell me what you want, I'll give you all that you need with my heart in my hand, saying please, baby, please, because nobody does that thing you do better than you. And thoughts to swim around in my head.
Welcome to another All Things Napa episode. We've got a good show.
Oh, we got a great show.
We say that every single month, though.
But that's okay, because it is a great show.
But it is. We're not lying.
And a lot of special guests.
We have special guests every month, but I'm just going to say one of the guests today is really extra special.
Yes, she is. So I'll just leave it at that.
You're going to have to wait and see who that is, so, hang in there.
And, we always have our business and mortgage spotlight. Yeah. And then we also have the radio owners from Kayvon.
For those of you who don't know, Kayvon, we're sold. We've got the new owners in studio.
Yeah, so we look forward to that. So, hey, look, put on the AC, sit back with some Kool-Aid. It's going to be a fun show. So come and join us, should I say.
And it's time for our business spotlight. And today we have with us Cliff Keilhorn. Did I say that right?
No.
No?
Keilhorn.
Yes. Had a 50-50 shot.
You did. It's okay.
Welcome, Cliff. Glad you're here.
Thanks. Glad to be here, too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
So K&J Moving, tell us a little bit about your company, kind of maybe what makes you different from
K&J Moving Systems, we've been in business since 1999. We've grown from basically my business partner, myself, and one truck and a way overpriced warehouse to now where you have 15 full-time employees, 7 trucks, and we actually maintain and store 3 warehouses full of our customers' items when they need storage between moves. And then we do mainly household goods. That's the crux of our business, but we do office moving. We actually moved a cork manufacturing plant a few years back.
A cork manufacturing plant?
Yes.
I wonder what he moved.
All of their machinery.
It was probably really light.
You're supposed to say corks.
I immediately.
The cork bags were actually about 1,000 pounds a piece.
Oh,
that's
God.
Yeah, because they run them through it's basically a 2-story hopper that has 8 bins or 8 bags in it. So it was quite the feat, I think, for us to pull this move off. No damage, nobody got hurt. They were up and running within a week, and we were happy to be of service to them.
Well, it's a true testament to your professionalism to grow a company that large and to be sustained and
Thank you
doing
very
so
much.
well.
We work hard at that. We hear a lot of times from our clients that, the move was so stressful, except when your crew showed up.
Yeah.
They were laughing and joking and lighthearted, and even on the big, stupid, heavy pieces, they made it look effortless. So they all know that it's a hard job, and if you're going to be there with Mr. Grumpy Face all day, then the day's going to take forever.
Yeah.
So just lighten up, have a good time, get the job done, be professional about it, and make sure the customer gets taken care of.
We only have about 30 seconds, but what I know I see you at the MLS meetings all the time. What do you do for the community?
One of our favorite charities is Operation With Love from Home.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And also we work with Napa Valley Community Housing. We get a lot of furniture donated to us. I snap pictures of it. I send it over to Napa Valley Community Housing, and they look for clients that need that furniture, and then we set up an appointment for them to come pick it up from our facility and take it and give it a new life in their new home.
Wonderful.
Oh, that's great.
Moving companies always end up with a lot of extra stuff anyway.
Always, yes.
The client just says, no, you can take that away.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me,
thanks.
fellas. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Sorry I messed up your
absolutely.
name.
It's okay. It happens
you're
on a
Cliff.
daily basis.
Keilhorn.
You're
Yes.
Cliff.
Yes.
Keilhorn.
Keilhorn, yes.
So,
Well, we have his information up there, Cliff's information. It's 707-224-8200 is the office. Or you can go on his website there at kjmovingsystems.com. But next, we are going to have another special interview, actually. And it's going to be, you're going to interview them. And it's the radio show, the owners.
the K-Vine radio station was sold, and we have the new owners coming up next.
Yeah.
All right, we are very, very happy to have Will and Julissa Marcencia, the new owners of K-Vine and K-Von Radio right here in Napa, Sauvignon Rock. Welcome, you guys. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Lee.
And welcome to Napa. If I haven't said it enough already, and the other times that we've gotten together, welcome to Napa.
Thank you.
One more time.
One more. Welcome to Napa.
Thank you.
Louder. No.
Sound check. Okay. So tell our viewers a little bit about you and your background and how excited you are to be here.
God, where do we start? Let's see. It started as a love triangle. Hold on, Lee. Hold on.
It's not a family show.
Yeah. It's not what you're thinking. So it's media, Julissa, and Will.
Okay.
So we met at our previous employer when we were working in media, and we obviously fell in love, and we knew that we wanted to run our own business one day. So we started tapping into real estate, and it was gratifying, but I think that we still had that yearning for media. And so we found ourselves always looking backwards and kind of like, we need to go back to media. We need to go back to media. So we started searching for radio stations as one of the things that we wanted to, go into. And out of all the radio stations that we looked at, we fell in love with Napa. The community.
Whoa,
the
wait
stations.
a minute. What a shock.
Right? I mean, it's so hard to fall in love with Napa.
It's almost like, wait, there's a radio station in Napa for sale? How perfect is that? So, yeah.
Yes, definitely aligning of the stars is the way that we see it.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So, Julissa, do you want to give a 30-second add-on to that, in case there's any difference?
So I've been in media my entire career. I started since an internship back in my college days. I worked for MTV Networks. And after I graduated, I started working with them doing advertising sales for network TV. Amazing. I got to go to all the award shows, very glamorous, and of course fell in love with media at that point. And then I went to get my master's in Barcelona, spent a year out there, also worked for a radio group in Barcelona. A little difficult because my Spanish is not that great.
Un poquito?
Just un poquito, yeah. So I ended up coming back after that, and I worked at Univision. That's where we met, and that's where I finished up doing local television, radio, and digital sales.
Okay, wonderful. Well, we're so glad that those stars aligned and that love triangle occurred, because now you're here. And for those of us who are local to Napa and have been for myself about 5 years now, I never forget when I first randomly found the station, 99.3, that it's like, oh, this is just such a good vibe with the Sauvignon Rock and Bob in the morning, and just Sharpie and the little drums with the "That's What's Happening" and
Right.
all that good stuff. So, tell us what the future holds now that it's under new ownership.
Well, not much is going to change in terms of the staff right now that's in place has been phenomenal. They've been running very lean. So we're just seeing it as 2 extra bodies, more manpower to put the station out there, be in the community, help the community in whatever they need, whether, it's an event that's going to happen, like July 4th is coming up, that we're going to be a part of, and that's where we're really going to be out with the community and starting to meet people, which is...
Well, I remember seeing the article that Jennifer Huffman wrote in the Register, and the thing that resonated with me the most was you guys saying that you really want to connect with the community. And that's what this show is all about, with all things Napa. So that's why I reached out to you, and I'm really glad that I did, and I want to help you in any way connect with that community. And you'll find that this community is so welcoming, and it is so easy to connect with, and it's so philanthropic. There are so many ways that we can give back to the community. Absolutely. And you're going to have that opportunity too. Probably more than most, because of the power that you have.
I'm glad that you mentioned that. Our focus will be to run and operate the stations with such a strong and hyper focus on localness. There's already there's already a show that's all about the local musician scene that is growing here in Napa that we're really excited about, but also just connecting with the community. We want the community to tell us what they want to hear, and what they don't want to hear.
Right.
You know, we are really just opening up that dialogue of communication so that we could play what they want to hear while they're driving around, you know, the community. And yes, creating synergies with local businesses
Yeah.
to help them at the end of the day is really what our mission
Right.
is about.
Without it being too focused on the businesses and making sure that the listeners are not, overwhelmed with ads and all that good stuff.
Right,
Right.
finding that balance
Right.
between the listener
Right.
and the business.
Right. So we've only got, I don't know, a minute and a half or so left. What's something that you want to make sure that you squeeze in here in our interview on all things Napa?
I think I want people to know that it's going to be patient with us. It's a huge undertaking, and although we have media backgrounds, we really want to be able to get out there and meet as many people as possible, but we're going to be a little bit tied down, I would
Yes,
say, the first
absolutely.
month or so as we, get our bearings with
Sure.
the station and learn everything it's about. But we asked you to come by the station and just let us know your feedback, and we have open doors.
Good.
So come
Good.
on through.
Or if you see us at at the grocery store or something, we'd love for you to
He really
come
won't be
up
at the
to us.
grocery store, though.
Well,
I'll be there.
she would be there, but yeah. When you see her at the grocery store, please stop by and let her know what we'd love to hear what you have to say. We're here for you.
That's wonderful. And if you don't see them at the grocery store, there's an opportunity because we're going to put their contact info up on the screen right now so that you can email them directly, send them an email, and they
Please.
will read it, and they'll probably, can we guarantee that you'll respond?
Yes.
Oh, putting
yes.
you on the spot right there.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
Once
gosh.
you get tons and tons of emails, we got to answer all these, Lee said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, we look forward to it.
All right. Well, hey, thank you very much for being here. One more time, welcome to Napa, and we look for great things from the radio station.
Thank you so much,
All right.
Lee.
Thank you, Lee.
That's it. Thank you very much. Lee Miller here with the Real Estate Minute. I was asked the other day, Lee, is there going to be a housing bubble? Is there going to be another crash in the real estate market? My answer is this. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. First of all, there isn't the circumstances in place that there was in 2007 and 8. So it's far less likely. But for anyone not to invest in real estate because there might or might not be a bubble, and they might lose some value before it recovers and they have that value back, to me is just a bad business decision. You're still going to derive the benefit of owning a home and building a home with your family and the memories that go with it. You're still going to get the tax benefits. So to try and predict the market, I think is a big mistake. Lee Miller with the Real Estate Minute. Real estate for real people.
And welcome back. And we have a special guest. Well,
Very
first,
special.
Yeah, we do. But before we get to the guest, that was an interesting Napa Real Estate Minute.
We're all going to find out, aren't we?
Yeah, I get that question a lot from different people, and
Yeah.
it's a discussion we need to have.
Yeah.
And educate our public on.
And everybody just calm down.
Yeah, just calm down. Just purchase and sell. Purchase and sell. Okay. All right. So our next guest is yes, she is a Miller, and her name's Michaela. Hi, Michaela. How are
Hi,
you?
good to see you guys.
Yeah. She is the daughter of Mr. Miller here next to me.
I am the dad. I'm the proud dad.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Well, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
And you have something unique that you bring to Napa, and it's really cool. It's called Rooted Fork Foodie Tours. Okay, hopefully I could say that a few times really quickly. But my big question is how did you come up with that name?
Yeah, well, I have been working in Napa doing events and contracting, working independently for the last several years under the guise of Rooted Fork. And that name for me came from wanting to work with events that are rooted within the community. So being that most of my experience with a lot of the events has to do with food, my background is very heavily in food and wine. Being a rooted fork, and as kind of my logo shows, that we've got a fork rooted into the ground. So for me, that means things that give back to the community. Anything that is maybe a nonprofit based gives back to arts, education, music, anything along those lines. I like to try to do that. And so much of my business is about relationships in the community as well. So anything I can do to foster that and add something to the community is important to what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the obvious question that
Is it kind of
like,
weird
I
just
shouldn't-
talking?
Well, especially this question.
Interviewing your daughter.
Yeah, I mean, tell us a little bit about your background. We don't know you very well.
Maybe I'll shed some new light on something you don't
I
know.
don't
Oh yeah,
know,
this
and
could
they
be
don't know.
Yeah.
This could be a surprise. She could say something that I didn't know.
All right. Oh.
So my background, from a young age, first job out the gate, working right in the restaurant industry, which naturally led me into the food industry. So I've worked both sides of the restaurant, working back of house in the kitchen, cooking, front of the house, and realizing I did not want the life of a chef, I decided to go to school and study wine. Got my degree in wine and viticulture from Cal Poly, and then started down the track of working as a sommelier, working abroad, and again, very quickly realized I did not want to be in the restaurant industry long term if I wanted to have the kind of life I envisioned. So I moved up to Napa and thought, this is a good place. You know, there's wine, there's food, and naturally just became really rooted in that community right away. And
See what she did there?
Rooted. Now I know where rooted came from.
There you go.
All right.
So my background within Napa over the last 8 years has just been working with a lot of different events. I contract out independently for Bottle Rock, for the Napa Valley Film Festival, for Festival Napa Valley, Appalachian St. Helena, working with all these different groups to help them curate their events, whether it's helping them manage their food and wine programs, any culinary programs, operations, production, things like that. So what this has allowed me to do is develop these awesome relationships with restaurants and wineries over the years. And Rooted Fork Foodie Tours essentially is a passion project that has come out of all these amazing relationships. I've traveled across the country, and every time I go to a new city, I try to take a food tour if I can, because I'm usually there for a condensed amount of time, maybe only a day or two, and I want to explore everything that that city has to offer. And the best way to do that is go on a food tour, because you can knock out 8 to 10 restaurants in 3 hours and get to try the city and learn about the culture and the architecture and everything all at once. So that's essentially how I formed Rooted Fork Foodie Tours, is with the relationships I've been able to develop with the restaurants over the years. I've been able to curate this experience for the guests that allows them to come into Napa, maybe for a short amount of time. Maybe they've gotten all these recommendations for places they want to try and experience. They just don't have the time or the funds, can't get a reservation. This tour will allow them to experience several different places all in one afternoon. All food and drink is included, and the guest gets this essentially taste of Napa all in one setting.
Not only a taste of Napa, but learning about each establishment, the history of it, and a lot of them, it's the actual owners that are visiting with your tour group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is something I hope to make beneficial for not only people who are coming in from out of town, but for guests who maybe are locals as well. So the idea is to go to a place, even as a local, that you might have been going to for 10 years, but to learn something new, to try something new, fun little facts about where else you might find their food, or how they got started, or how the owner of this place's father developed this recipe for this special slider, 40 years ago back in Iowa. And there's a story behind everything. And I think for me, going to these places over the last several years has been great, and I've come to love the establishments, but even myself in learning about each of the establishments to add to this tour has been so fun to learn the history, and I feel like it makes the food taste that much better.
Well, it's and that is a cool thing, because there's so many wine tours out there. Everyone is doing the wine tour, taking you to different places, and but none going to the different restaurants.
Yep.
So take us, briefly, take us through like a day with a group of people. I mean, are you like going to each restaurant? I mean, are you having full meals? I mean, because I can't imagine after one restaurant, I'm
that
done.
would be painful. Yeah. So our tour will give you, for instance, the tour that we've released as kind of the initial tour for guests is called The Taste of Downtown Napa. There are many other tours to come, by the way, which I can tell you about. So the Taste of Downtown Napa is a walk from basically the west end of Napa. We start at ABC, and we visit 8 different restaurants. At each restaurant, you get a small bite of food, usually something that's their signature dish, something that they're very proud of or known for, and then a cocktail pairing at many of the places.
Okay.
So either a cocktail or a beer.
Nice.
I actually specifically chose not to do wine on this tour because it is Napa Valley, there is wine everywhere. This is kind of a little bit of a break from wine, and while we may add other tours with a wine component at some point, this tour is really about something different. So we taste through, we walk, the total walk on this one I believe is just over a mile, so it's really manageable. And we taste at 8 different places, 8 different bites. By the end of this tour, from what I've heard from most guests, the feedback is that they're quite full, so that's good. I think I'm doing my job. But everything is included along with learning along the way a little bit about the city, a little bit about the architecture, all the new construction, the history of Napa, how downtown has come to be this booming restaurant and foodie scene that, frankly, 10 years ago it just wasn't.
Right.
And anything beyond that, no way. So I hope to offer people, a little bit of everything. We even talk about the art along First Street as we're walking along First Street. So
Everybody on the tour becomes friends too,
Right.
because you're there for 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and so you got friends afterwards. So
Well, and I think the main thing she talked about was your walking.
yes,
So you can walk off that food as you get to the next place.
Yeah, net zero.
yes. I've been told I maybe should work with a dietitian to actually make sure we are actually walking off all of the calories we are consuming on the tour. So
Who told you that?
that is my next project to roll out there.
Really? You, the dietitian. Okay.
So we got to wrap up. I know that you probably have a lot more cool stuff that you could share with us, but we are out of time. Just like that, it goes.
Come and take
It
a
does.
tour, and
So,
you will get to
anyone
experience
that
it
wants
yourself.
to, as locals listening or visitors to the valley, you can see Michaela's information up on the screen. Go to her website, rootedforkfoodietours.com, or call her and talk to her and ask her any questions that you want about the tour. Thanks so much for being here, Michaela.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for
Yes.
being. Okay, so what's next, big guy?
Next
Yeah?
is on that sheet.
So it's Big Tom McDonald.
Tom McDonald.
Yeah, with
coming
the
at
mortgage,
you.
mortgage
The
spotlight.
Mortgage Spotlight.
Yeah, lots to learn right here next. And she's a wonderful young lady.
Isn't she? I'm very proud of her.
You raised her right. I'm very proud of you.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
So, all right. Well, we have our mortgage spotlight today, and we have a special guest. Also, they're all special guests to us, right? Tom McDonald, all right, with Signet
Reverse Mortgage, right?
Reverse Mortgage, right?
Thank you.
Well, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So, I heard there's some changes going on with reverse mortgages. Can you enlighten us?
Gosh, yeah. I've been doing this for about 15 years, and I could predict the future. Everything was the same one year from the next. The last 5 years, everything's been changing. We've had Congress involved, FHA, HUD making massive changes just about every year. And so reverse mortgages aren't what people think they are. We've had financial planners, and I'll call them high-level financial planners, PhD types, who run massive simulations of what-ifs. Things like, if they have this portfolio, will it last till the person passes away? And they're finding that by integrating a reverse mortgage into your total retirement planning, that you're going to be ahead of the game and you're more likely to have some money throughout the rest of your life. And so, in my opinion, anyone who's approaching age 62 or over should at least look into it and find out how it fits them.
Right.
Because I hear people are afraid, gosh, Mabel, you don't want to do a reverse mortgage because they'll take your house.
Right.
Those are misconceptions, and there are tons of misconceptions out there. So it's just a matter of learning more about, like any other thing that you need to do for retirement planning. You got to learn about it.
Well, that's what we were talking about,
Yeah.
right? Just real quick, I'm sorry, is that, not many people know or understand that subject of the reverse mortgage, but that's a whole big subject that they should call
absolutely.
you on
That-
Right.
since
we
you're a
can't get into
consultant.
today, but
Right.
real quick, I want to make sure that people understand. We talked about my in-laws possibly doing a reverse mortgage, and Tom, after looking and doing with his expertise, said, they're not a good candidate for it. So that's important to Tom's integrity.
Right.
Just like
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tom's giving back to the community, he can blow away every guest that we've ever had combined with what this guy does
You
for
do
the
a lot.
community.
You do a lot. That's
I
for
told
sure.
Justin to try and get up on the screen all the different stuff that he does. There's a spreadsheet.
Oh, you did.
Because I wanted to embarrass him a little bit. But I don't know if we're going to be able to do it from a technical standpoint. But you give back to the community so much, and the community is a lot better off for it. Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, there it is, real briefly. You
yeah.
just missed it.
Yeah, so you're going to have to rewind and freeze the screen and look at all that great stuff Tom does. But
Thank you.
thank you for being here. And there's
Thanks for having
me. Thank you.
Tom's information is going to be on the screen there. Really, you need to learn more before you make a decision on reverse mortgage. So reach out to Tom. You can give him a call at 265-6385 or tom@reversemortgageconsultant.com. Thank you for being here, Tom.
Enjoy
Thank
it.
you, Tom.
And we are going to come next to Desi Capaz in the Napa Market Update.
The all exciting Napa Market Update.
All things Napa, all exciting.
Welcome to the Napa Market Update. I'm Desi Capaz. So today we're going to talk about absorption rate. Absorption rate is not in your typical conversation, but what it is that for the month of May, 53.8% of homes sold, meaning out of the total inventory, that we have. So sellers are applauding this number. That's great because your house is being sold, but for buyers it's not so much. They're looking for houses to buy, and there's not enough. And we're only at 1.9 months worth of inventory out there, and to stay balanced, we need 6 months. So if you're on the fence about selling, I suggest that you give me a call, and you can find me on my website at www.unlocknapavalley.com or call me at 707-260-9906. Enjoy the Napa Valley life.
Very interesting market update, absorption rate.
Well,
I learned something.
Yeah, it's
Wink,
just a
wink.
little different. We use that metric very seldomly, but it does tell a story.
It does. Well, we thank you very much for joining us and watching the show today. Really was a great pleasure to be able to talk to Will and Julie Marcencia, the new owners
Yes.
of the K-Vine and K-Von, and of course our very, very special guest, my daughter, who
Yeah.
I'm very proud of. I'm proud of all of my kids, but I haven't had any of them as a guest except Michaela. So.
Well, that's a wonderful business, and I look forward to it. So that it's great. It's going to be
Spread
good
the
for
word.
them. Yeah.
It's for locals too.
And Cliff and Tom were great too. So we'll see you next month, and just stay tuned and try to get through the summer heat.
Yep.
But we'll see you on All Things Napa.
Some days are better than other days, but these days life is better with you. Some days are better than other days, but these days life is better with you. Life is better. Tell me what you want, I'll give you all that you need with my heart, my hand saying please, baby, please, because nobody does that thing you do better than you. And thoughts still swim around in my head.